as the title of this video suggests, this video is going to be about the time that I acted in a short film that got 1 million views and everyone hated me. So I thought this idea just came to me, and I thought that I needed to film it right away because I think it's a very, I don't know, it was a terrible, 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 terrible feeling at the time, but I think it's just something that I think taught me a lot, and also I think is something that maybe other people could relate to or would like to hear about. Because I think a lot of people say like, oh, chase your dreams, do everything, because when you're 80 years old you're gonna regret the things you didn't do more so than the things you did do, even if they go badly. So I was like, well, I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and I really loved the book The Fault in Our Stars, and I had connections to this company that made short films through a website that I used to run, and I was just like, I want to do this short film about The Fault in Our Stars where I play Hazel, because I just thought that it would be the coolest thing to do ever. So I ended up kind of adapting a scene from that book into a script, and I flew myself to Utah where this company was based, and I did this scene. And I'd been trying to act at the time for the wrong reasons. Like I'd been doing this entertainment website and doing a lot of film events and being surrounded by the industry to the point where I'd gotten to where I felt like I needed to do that. I needed to be an actor. I needed to like be like this level successful in that field to feel like a worthy human being or something. And it's not that acting was a bad pursuit or is a bad pursuit. It's just that I don't think I was doing it from a place of true fire and passion. I was doing it more from a place of wanting people to accept me in the way that actors are often accepted. My favorite part about that experience was actually going into improv and getting more okay with that, but yeah, because improv is a very kind of spur of the moment, impulsive kind of art form in the acting world that really helps you get out of your own head and just be okay with what you're doing, and without the fear of judgment as much, just anything goes. And anyway, so I did this short film in Utah, and I ended up basically like, it was a very interesting experience, because the person I was doing the scene with is an actor, and he is a very good actor, and I was a very inexperienced actor. And I was very nervous, obviously. I'd even gone to like a coach to try to like do the scene and get really comfortable with it, and then I did it, and like the whole time we filmed it, it was kind of a blur, and then it finally went out, and John Green, the author of The Fault in Our Stars, actually tweeted about it on his Twitter account, and then we got so many views, and a lot of people were like, wow, this is incredible. But a common thread in the comments of the video was, that girl is terrible as Hazel, like she's absolutely awful, terrible actress. Some people were even telling me how ugly I was, and I'd never experienced that before, not in that kind of a way. I mean, everyone's experienced criticism. I mean, some YouTube people, like I'd made YouTube videos before because I was running that website at the time, but I'd never experienced such an onslaught of negative feedback ever in my entire life. And that video ended up getting 1 million views, or I think over 1 million views, and still to this day you can go to that video. It's The Fault in Our Stars, Augustus and Hazel, and it's the Mainstay Productions YouTube. And yeah, I basically I watched that today, and and the thing about this is funny is that I'm actually a pretty harsh judger of actors. Like if I see someone who's a bad actor, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't watch this movie because that person's such a bad actor. But then when it's you and you put all this like love and affection and commitment and I don't know, just like passion into something only to have it blow back at you, and people didn't know that I was the one that had come up with the idea and I was the one that had kind of started it. People were just like, why did you cast this terrible actress as Hazel? She's so bad. And it just made me think, like, people tell you you should just do everything, try whatever, and there's kind of this subtext of, no matter what happens, it'll probably, even if it doesn't work out, it'll probably be okay. But when I was getting so much hatred in these comments after doing this video, I was like, I don't know if it is worth it to do everything and try anything, even if you're not sure what will happen, because that could happen and that was so bad. And of course that would be how I'd feel in the moment because I was being crushed and I was a teenager. And it's not like if that happened today I wouldn't be upset, because I definitely would be upset, but it's kind of that kind distance, I guess, from when it first happened to now. I can look back and like be like, wow, I'm really proud of myself for doing that, regardless of the fact that I didn't know how it would go. I'm happy that I did it. I'm happy I had that experience. I'm happy that I had the like gusto to even try to do something like that. And I'm happy that I have the clarity of mind today to know that like the kind of shy, insecure teenager version of me that had moved to a new city, Los Angeles, and was being bombarded by all this messaging telling me that I needed to be famous, needed to be an actor to be worthy of love and affection, that was where I was coming from in that time of my life. And it's not to say that there aren't other things that I'm going through today that I'm struggling with, because there definitely are, but I guess I can just look back on that and be like, now I don't view that advice of do everything no matter what, that means that that kind of positive gusto protects you from never feeling that kind of negative pain from getting such a pushback from things you try. Now I know that even if something hurts terribly, even if something goes as badly as it possibly can go, sometimes that has to happen. Like sometimes, like there's kind of this thing that I know now is that even if it goes the worst way it could possibly have gone, in 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, I will look back on that and be able to see it with more clarity and understand what I was going through at the time, and it won't always be so painful, which kind of echoes a sentiment that I often would remind you, is that nothing lasts forever. No feeling, no matter how good or bad, will last forever. And I don't know, like I can go back on that video now and I can look at all that terrible feedback and think like I won't lie and say that I'm impervious to that negativity now, but it does hurt me less now looking at that, because when I looked at it before, it was like I would cry every time I would even think about it. And I remember laying in my room and just crying and crying and crying when that happened to me. And these comments were just rolling in, and I was like, I'd put all my love into this and it failed for me, even though the video did very well, and the other actor in the video, James Geisford, did amazingly well in the video. And what's funny about it too is that now I can look back on it as well and think, well, like even though all of these people thought that I was terrible in this video and that I was ugly and that I was worthless and horrendous, I can look at that video knowing who I was then and what kind of actor I was then and what I was trying to do, and be like, wow, even though from my kind of extremely high expectations for actors, I look at that and go, wow, you did a very good job for where you were at in your life at that moment. Like I remember, like I just feel like I could see, like when you watch a scene of yourself acting, you can't really be immersed in it, it's you obviously, so I could just see Like I like cried in the video, which is something that I'd never done ever in a scene in my life. So it was like I'd gotten the emotion in a way that an actor really wants to get the emotion, feel it, and because I'd been taking acting classes at the time about how to like fully live a scene as opposed to trying to act a scene, and I can look at that video now and be like, wow, you did it, you did what you were trying to do. Even though no one else can see that, you can see that. And I guess being in a video that got 1 million views with most of the comments directed negatively towards me, it really taught me about self-love, that even if thousands of people are telling you you suck, you can tell yourself that you don't suck. No matter how hard that is, sometimes that is what you have to do. You have to remind yourself that the only opinion that truly matters at the end of the day is your own opinion, and you can decide that you're gonna love yourself no matter what everybody else is saying. Because in the art world, it can sometimes seem like the negativity towards art that people doesn't like gets so intense that it's almost like they're attacking you as a person, which I think is terrible. And I also think that discounting people's art is also terrible, even if you don't like it, because some people like it. But yeah, this is getting kind of rambly, but I just wanted to share that with you, that I'm an imperfect human with feelings, and I was in a YouTube video that got 1 million views, and it didn't go well for me. So I just wanted to share that, and thank you so much for watching. If anything like this has happened to you, I would also love to hear from you in the comment section, because I think it's good to let this stuff out sometimes, and know that not everything goes according to plan, not everything goes amazingly well, but you just gotta keep living life. There's no life that exists without any sort of painful moments. So thank you guys, and I will see you again next time. Bye!